Welcome back, Crime Stoppers. It's another one in our songwriting series. In our last episode, Animal did his reaction video to the completed Summer 24 song, and today you're going to get my reaction. So let's get into it. I'm Mike, known as Rebel, and this is the IronFist songwriting series. Rah! We've got a million things going, and actually Animal's going to be here tomorrow for about a week, and there's just going to be stuff, and stay tuned, you'll see some of it. But I want to dive right into the song and just talk about it as we're going along, because I think there's a lot of good things to share here. And okay, we got to turn off a couple things on the board here so that we don't get feedback. We don't want that. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's just get listening. So one of the things that Animal mentioned was the keyboard. It's not on right now, so you can hear. Yeah, it's not on because I did it in MIDI. So what I was doing there was just basically playing some pentatonic stuff and just basically doing on the keyboard what I did on the guitar. There's actually a guitar behind that, you just can't hear it. And I just wanted to provide some different kinds of sounds. So in the beginning there, we try to do a lot of ear candy in the songs, a lot of other things that are kind of audio, aurally interesting. It's a hard word to say. It's like gymnasium. And so I started out with the lifeguard whistle, and then just, the basic stuff coming in with the guitars, and then get into that keyboardy, riffy thing, and then we go into this next chunk here.
Sun began to chill, been waiting all winter for the sun to rise. Getting out of school, and looking up and wondering at those perfect clear blue skies. Long clouds beneath the stars, hot rods and loud guitars. I've got it all to look forward to, and there's one thing I'm gonna do.
So that takes us through the first verse, and I think it works really well. I kept the guitar tones really clean, which actually makes them have a lot more punch in some ways. I tried to keep the riff real simple, just following the chord progression, the 1, the 4, and the 5 in the key of A there, A, D, and E. Nothing fancy, nothing at all. The bass line was a ton of fun. You saw me work that out. I really like the way that bass rolls in. It really just works. I really did look to the Beach Boys for a lot of inspiration in this. Not so much for the tones, but just for stylistically what I wanted to convey as I was laying down the stringed instruments. And I think it works really well. It's kind of like with the keys in there. Maybe in some ways it's Jethro Tull meets the Beach Boys. I don't know. Let's continue on into the chorus.
Ride, rock and roll all through the summer. I'm gonna rock and roll all through the summer. From the backyard to the beach, I know the good times always are in reach. I'm gonna rock and roll all through the summer.
So there's that one extra measure that Scott and I were waffling back and forth, and as soon as I started performing it and singing it, I just knew that it needed to be there. The other thing is that those harmonies that Scott suggested really work well. How does it go again? Rock, 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 rock and roll all through the summer. Something like that. I'm not hearing it right now. Let's go back to that real quick.
Rock and roll all through the summer.
Yeah. Rock, rock, rock and roll all through the summer. And there's another one in there. So we had a lot of fun putting all of that together. And I think it really does work well. Let's move into the second verse.
We headed to July. We're fireworks, barbecues, and bowling all in sober. No one could deny the little post-glory days of the great outdoors.
So that's one thing I wanted to comment on there. No one could deny the Middle Coast glory days of the great outdoors. That is a mouthful. I really had to work hard to enunciate that properly and get it clean and get it distinct. Probably a little overbaked in the lyrics there, but the message it's trying to convey was worth it. I couldn't find another way to say it other than the way we said it. And so no one could deny the Middle Coast glory days of the great outdoors, or whatever the words are. Yeah, that really, really works well, but it's a tongue full to sing, that's for sure.
Mondays and idle time, hot girls and cherry wine. There's so much more to look forward to, and there's one thing I'm gonna do.
So the second pre-chorus, Scott didn't give me anything lyrically. It just kind of came into it, and so I sat down with that and I hashed it out and came up with that. Long days of idle times, hot girls and cherry wine, something like that, whatever it is. Cherry, Michigan, of course. Michigan's known for its cherries. What summer would be complete without hot girls? So yeah, that came together really well. I'm really happy with that. So again, it goes into the second chorus. I just tweaked at the end of the pre-break there, or the end of the pre-chorus there. I just tweaked it a little bit. To kind of bring back where we were in the first pre-break, so that there's just so much more to look forward to, rather than what it said in the first one, which was something about so much to look forward to, or something like that. So I should have the lyrics in front of me here, but, oh, there it is. I do have the lyrics here in front of me. Yeah, so if there's one thing, I've got it all to look forward to, so much more to look forward to, I guess was what I was trying to convey there. So let's continue.
Rock and roll all through the summer. I'm gonna rock and roll all through the summer. From the backyard to the beach, I know the good times always are in reach. I'm gonna rock and roll all through the summer.
So again, there, I wanted to bring the keys back in and do the guitar is in there also doing exactly the same notes, and that's just some basic Beach Boys style licks. I mean, they didn't invent this stuff, right? It was just common of this style of music. So I call it the Beach Boys style of music, but it's really more than that. It's, whatever that genre is. It's not really beach music, but... And I thought, okay, keys there before we get into the guitar solo itself. And as we move into the guitar solo here, I just want to say this guitar solo was so much fun. I mean, it's just basic 12-bar blues stuff. There's nothing fancy about it. It's just pentatonic. But just the way to voice it, playing with octaves, playing something down here, then playing exactly the same thing up here, which I do a lot in my solos anyway. And just a lot of that doink, dick, doink, dick, doink, dick, doink, dick, doink, doink, stuff like that. Just a lot of runs, stuff like that. So let's get through the solo, and then we'll talk about that outro from that solo break into the last verse. So yeah, let me talk about that a little bit. That part, that was really, really hard to get clear distinction. The one that was up on the neck wasn't too bad. The one that was way down in first position was a pain in the butt. I don't know how long I worked on that to be able to play that. And it's just a simple, kind of a pull off type of a run, and then slamming down with a hammer on the next string. But it was tough, and I kept working. I really liked where Scott took the drums in the first one and followed along. I kind of wished he had done that in the second one in some ways, because it would have enunciated those guitar notes better. But the more I listened to it, the more I thought, no, I think once was enough on the drums there. So his call was absolutely right. But when I first heard his drums, I'm like, oh, the second one's where I really needed that, not the first one. And that's just me, being embarrassed for my guitar playing, I guess. So, okay, let's get into this. We're getting into the minor sixth now in this key, F sharp minor, I think it is. Yeah, I think that's it. And breaking that down into that little break that you saw me work out, with that kind of that 4-chord progression through this. So let's go into it.
Getting into August seems like the days are nearly gone. Just the feeling of how time is marching on.
So now we're going into the third verse, and this was the verse that was kind of controversial. Not really. We didn't have a big fight over it or anything. We didn't even argue about it, but I just shared my rationale on how I felt like, for one thing, this song felt really short at this point if it had ended. So coming into this third verse now, we had the discussion about it and so forth, and I really felt it needed to come full circle and just kind of bring it all back around to the elements that we introduced at the beginning, where we're in school looking forward to summer, and bring it full circle to being in school again and looking back on summer as well as forward to the next summer. So let's pick it up here now.
Feeling like a fool. I know it's just a memory, but it seems it's just begun. Going back to school, but I will always remember all my summer fun. Long nights beneath the stars, hot rods and Alcan pies. I've got it all to look forward to, and there's one thing I'm gonna do.
So here, I didn't even talk to Scott about this. I just took the bull by the horns and did it. I kept thinking about what do we want for that third pre-chorus, and I kept trying to write something new, and I realized if we're in school looking forward to summer, and that pre-chorus works there, then really the same pre-chorus should work in the third verse when we're in school looking back on summer, as well as looking forward to summer. So I thought about like so much we did and stuff like that, and I thought, no, I want to always be looking forward. So we're carrying the last experience of summer. Let's say we're 16 years old, 17 years old. We're carrying the 17 summers of experience with us into looking forward to our 18th summer and what that's going to be, right? The magic 18. Yes. So that's where I was at with that. So here we go into the final choruses. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on here, and it's really hard to pick up unless you tune in on it. Scott mentioned that he talked about how I said it's hard to mix. When you get that many gang vocals in doing that many different things, it's really hard to mix that. But in back of all of that stuff, there's this then there's another one underneath that, and then we got rock and roll is here to stay all summer long. Sorry, I was weed whacking. The allergies are killing my voice today. But that was a lot of fun to layer. I think there is a total of 14 voices in that part. So when you hear the produced version, which is released now in pre-release form over on Bandcamp, tune in on that last part and just listen for ooh, ah, and then there's another one underneath it, ooh, ooh, something like that. And then there's 3 voices on that. Rock and roll is here to stay. It's good stuff. It really turned out well. And so then we decided not to do a complete ending on this song, but we actually repeat the chorus 3 times and just fade out into nothing. So let's finish this out. To the beach, the good times always are in reach. I'm gonna Yeah, so the effects of the ocean waves or the lake waves in Michigan, all of that stuff. So good stuff. Yeah, there's things I hear even now that I would go, oh, I could have done that different. I could have done this different. But the thing about songwriting and even recording is there's always another one coming. And if you wait for perfection, you'll never get anything done. And if you're here specifically to learn how to do songwriting in this series, then we've done 3 series now, and we're going to do more. I just can't emphasize enough that make it good. Have fun while you're doing it. Strive for excellence, not perfection. You'll always go, ooh, I could, ooh, I could, ooh, I could. But when the overall package is like this, I can't help but pick up my air guitar. I can't help but pick up my air bass. I can't help but sing. I caught myself singing out loud as we were recording this for you today. Because the song is just so catchy. I think it's one of the best pieces of work we've done. And of course, what would I say? Every new song is the best piece of work we've done. I'm not going to say, this new song is a total piece of crap, but here you go. No, I really do think it is the best, one of the best things we've ever turned out. So, yeah. So the next thing coming here on the channel will be a release of the song. The song is going to drop on the 20th of August, but if you really have to have it now, go to ironfistonline.bandcamp.com. We did a pre-release for the fans over there. You can buy the song today. It'll be released in global distribution. I'll be getting it out for radio airplay here real soon. We'll be sending it off to Australia and Europe and Japan, and it'll be over on our Jangle radio station. It'll be hitting globally real soon. So we're looking forward to that. It's kind of funny to release it in Australia now because it's winter there. But they're going to hit it on the looking forward to summer. So that's kind of exciting. All right. I'm going to drop it and we're going to move on. So the next thing coming here will be the song itself. But if you can't wait for that to be here, go over to Bandcamp, spend your 99 cents and pick the song up. You won't regret it. All right, that'll do it. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. RAWK!